If you believe that entrepreneurship is some easy fix to every single problem in your life, like you can just create some business and it make you a millionaire in a couple weeks or a month or something, then you have been lied to. See, when I first started this entrepreneurship journey, I believed that same thing. I started my first business and I was like, I'll just start making a few hundred a day. It's easy. Everyone else is saying it's easy. I got sucked into this sort of belief that I could become successful like that. I'd have to put effort in, but it wouldn't take long before I started getting results, and then I'd be able to retire and go live in Dubai. Well, that's not true. See, this is day one of posting every single day for the next 30 days to grow this channel. And in this video, I want to talk about how entrepreneurship is not as easy as you think. Let me just move my camera a little bit because it's a bit too far to the right. There we go. So, let me tell you about my own personal experience with entrepreneurship. I started 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. I started with a clothing brand. And when I first started, I got sucked in by this whole online hustle culture thing where it's like, people are setting up an online store and within a week they're making the first sales and then that's turning into, a few £100 a month, then a few £1,000 a month, and then they can just go and travel wherever they want, right? I got sucked into that sort of dream. And it was like, yeah, I didn't know where to start. I'd never really created anything in my life. I'd never been a creative person. Never really been anything but a lazy sort of, I just drifted through life kind of guy. I didn't really try anything. I've always been that kind of person, right? Before I started this sort of entrepreneurship journey, right? And I first started this business and I approached it with the mindset I always had where, it'll work out. I'll create something, it'll sell, it'll be whatever, you know what I mean? That sort of lazy mindset. I wasn't really prepared for the struggle that I didn't know even existed when it came to this sort of entrepreneurship thing, right? So I started my first business and within a week, I made no sales. And I was like, wow, okay. I was expecting, at least one, right? And then another week passed, no sales. Another week, no sales. Four weeks in, no sales, and I was just like, bro. I spent 3 months setting this clothing brand up. I learned how to make a Shopify store, learned how to make designs, how to. It was a print on demand thing. I was using Printful. If you ever made a clothing brand, you'll know what that is, right? And I made no sales at all, and I was just confused. I was making videos like almost every day promoting the brand, and I was so confused. I was like, bro, they told me this, this is meant to be easy, I'm supposed to be making money by now. I've got the website set up. The website actually looked pretty good, to be fair, for my first ever Shopify store and all this kind of stuff, right? And I was like, bro, I should be making at least £100 a month or £100 a week now. Like, sure, I should be making 2 sales a week. And then I sort of ran out of motivation because I got too obsessed with the results, and the results weren't existent. So I was like, right, well, this has failed. Let me start again. So I deleted everything, closed the store down, second business, and the same thing followed again and again and again. Different types of businesses. I went from clothing brands to drop shipping to social media marketing agencies, just anything, right? Anything. And nothing worked because I didn't realize what you actually had to give to make this work. Like I was still, not really. I was still only spending like an hour a day on this stuff, right? And then I truly realized that I'm not doing enough to actually make this work. So I began making sacrifices. I dropped out of college. I started raising the shifts at my job from one, excuse me, from one a week to like 3 to 5, and I spent the rest of my time either at the gym, I'd go like 2 hours a day, or I'd spend it working. And it was like I'd never worked that hard at something in my life. And when I first started, I'd work for like 3 hours and then just spend the rest of the time procrastinating. But then over time, I worked harder and harder and harder, and now I'm at the point where it's like my whole life revolves around this. A lot of people, when they get into entrepreneurship, they fall in love with this destination of where it can take you, but they're not prepared to follow the journey. And the journey is ass, bro. It's suffering. It's pure just struggle. Like, bro, I was sat there today, And it hit me there's no guarantee that any of what I'm doing will work. You know, like I've done all this work, I've done all this sort of learning stuff, and you know, and I've started so many different things, and I've finally found what I want to stick to, right? But I stick to it. I get no results realistically. Like I make videos every day. I started this second channel like a week ago just to test something else. But with my main channel, I've been posting on there for like almost a year now. I did have a channel before that which I'd posted on for 2 years, but that ended up getting like shadow banned, and I just closed it down because I didn't know how to fix that. So I started again, started making videos, and it's like I make a video every single day, pretty much, right? I miss like the occasional day, but they don't go anywhere. I'll spend like 2 hours of my day recording, a few hours editing, all this kind of stuff, and I post the videos. They don't go anywhere. Then I get like 1 to 2 views, and I do the same the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next, and so on and so on and so on. You know, I make videos for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. They don't go anywhere, and it's like you have to sort of accept that you have no guarantee of this ever working. Like, I could be at this for the next 10 years, and my videos still be getting 1 to 2 views. Like, it hit me that actually hit me today, and I was like, bro. You know, the thing is with entrepreneurship, right, is it's just a constant guessing game. There's no guarantee that anything will work. You know, it's a guessing game, but you're also at the same time, every time you work, you know, you're learning stuff over time, right? But there's still no guarantee that will pay off. Like, I've learned so much about business, about this, about that, whatever. And it's like I have the knowledge now, but the action isn't. It's like not guaranteed a return. It's not like a job where you clock in and you get paid for the 8 hours that you put in. I put more than 8 hours in every single day, and I've got nothing so far this year. On this business that I'm building, I've earned nothing. It's been 6 months. I mean, to be fair, I only launched it like a month ago, but still, right? I've earned nothing. For my YouTube channel that I've been posting on for almost a year now, I've earned nothing. I've not got past 200 subscribers still. Yeah, there's people out there who will post one video and it'll get like 3 million views, and there they got the monetized, and that's it. It's like, when you see stuff like this over time, it wears you down, and you got to be prepared for that. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to like take this path, you've got to be prepared to battle this sort of uncertainty every single day. Like, the amount of times I doubt myself and I just feel like I'm a failure, you've got to battle that. Like, you'll find the entrepreneurship, it's like the worst enemy is you in this game, because I realized today, right, that entrepreneurship is exactly like something like karate or something, right? I was thinking about this because it's like the Karate Kid, right? If you've ever seen this film, you know what I mean, right? So it's about this guy who like trains this kid. So the guy's like really proficient in karate, and he trains this kid who's been bullied. And this kid goes to this dojo every single day, and he gets him doing like silly things like painting the fences, you know, cleaning the cars, and hanging his coat up and taking it off, and all this kind of stuff, right? And he'll do it every single day. But it's like, I came here to learn karate, right? Why am I painting a fence? Why am I cleaning your car? Why am I taking my jacket off and hanging it back up, and then taking off the coat hanger and hanging it back up? And then he does this every day, and it's like, it shows it's been like months, right? And he's like, I came here to learn karate. I've not learned anything. And then the guy says, he goes to hit him, and he says, oh, like, you know, paint the fence. And the guy goes like that, and he blocks the punch. And it's like, I don't know if I explained that very well, but it's like all this stuff he's been putting in, all this time and this effort he's been putting in, he didn't realize was actually teaching him exactly what he needed to know. So then when the time was right, when he needed to demonstrate his skills, when he was able to, it paid off. And he was a lot more proficient in karate than he realized. And I was like, well, isn't that what entrepreneurship's like, right? Excuse me, my throat's still kind of wrecked. But it's like, that's exactly what entrepreneurship's like. It's like, you pour all this time into learning things, and they don't give you any immediate reward. You spend all this time making videos, making content, all this kind of stuff, and then it's like, You show up every single day and you get nothing. It's like you feel like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm putting all this time and I'm getting no money. What is the point? And then one day, everything you've worked, all the time you've put in, all the stuff you've learned, everything you've been doing, it finally clicks and you're like, bro, this, I know what to do now. I do this, I do that, I do this. And then before you know it, it's like you've gone from earning nothing for 3 years to then actually making moves. You know, like, at least I believe that's how it goes. I do firmly believe that, even though it's not happened for me myself. I just know that's how it goes, right? You can't, like, some people, they just get lucky, right? They can just make one video and it go viral. But realistically, that's the reality of this. It's not, you don't just make one business and you go explode and make money overnight. You know, 1% of people that might happen to you, but realistically, 90%, 99% of entrepreneurs, it's just pure struggle. It's pure guessing, pure like, am I even capable of making this work? How much longer can I do this until I break? And that's what I was asking myself today. I was like, can I give myself to this every single day when I'm getting nothing? I'm getting no results. There's no confirmation this is ever going to work. You know, can I even do this? Am I even good enough to be able to make this work? You know, and it's like you're asking yourself this every single day, and then one day you make it. You know, but they sell it online as this like get rich quick scheme, but there's no such thing as getting rich quick. You find that even if there was a way you got rich quick, it's not a long-term thing. It's like you're quick to make money, but you're quick to lose it all too. That's why most lottery winners are like broke again within a year, because there's no value in getting rich quick. You lose all meaning to life within just like that, because the point, like I said, right, the point of entrepreneurship is the journey there. It's not getting to the destination, because let's say tomorrow, let's say I went viral with this video, and then tomorrow I wake up, I'm on like 50,000 subscribers. Let's be fair, that's pretty low. Let's be dramatic, right? Compare it to like a lottery. Let's say I woke up tomorrow, this video had hundreds of millions of views, and I woke up and I was just, you know, I was monetized. I claimed like 1 million. I know that's not realistic and probably not even how YouTube works, but let's say that happened, right? I would just be sad. I'd just be like, well, what do I do now? Where do I go now? You know, the pain and the suffering, it hurts, but it's like, it gives this value, it gives this meaning to it. You know, if it just worked out just like that, it wouldn't be worth actually chasing. So this is the real side of entrepreneurship, right? It's a battle. And the people who make it in this area, in this space, I'll make the comparison to karate again, right? The people who win in karate are not the people who are the best at karate. It's the people who are capable of taking the most beatings without giving up. And that's the same for entrepreneurship. It's the people who are kicked down every single day but just take that and get up and put the work in regardless. Now, today I was questioning whether I should quit this whole thing altogether, quit my YouTube channel, quit my business, just go back to living the life I was living before, where I'd wake up really late, I'd eat crap food every day. I didn't have a future. I was just living wherever life would take me. I didn't have any control over my life. You know, I was a sort of weak ass, like, victim mindset, lazy person. And I was like, bro, my life was easier back then. There was no stress. I just did what I want. You know, but I know that's not me. That's not the real me. I never enjoyed living that way. You know, it might suck right now, but I actually enjoy this way of living life more than any other way I've ever lived life. There's so many things I've sacrificed though as well. It's like, as an entrepreneur, right, it's like a competition at the same time. Oh, computer just started like spazzing out. Anyway, right, it's like a competition. You're competing with people who are trying to do the same things as you. And there are people out there who are working like 10, 15 hours a day. It's ridiculous. But it's like, there's stuff you have to do to make this work. Like, I don't go out as much anymore. I don't see my friends. I've got like three friends. I've not seen them in months. I see them like four like I see them like 10 times a year. Right? I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't eat unhealthy. Like I do, but it's not like often. Like I'm on a diet, but I do cheat sometimes. I'll be honest. I don't spend that much time with my family anymore. Some of the things I've sacrificed to try and make this work because it's like this is like the core of my life. This is what gives my life meaning. I've lived an empty life before, and I can't. And I found that like yeah, when I was living empty, I had more time for friends, I had more time for family and stuff, which is the one thing that was good. But it's like you got to like make a decision, right? If you want to pursue entrepreneurship, there's things you have to sacrifice to make more time to make it work because you can't just spend like 1 hour a day building something. That's what they say online, right? Oh, just give it 1 hour a day to this side hustle. But it's not enough time to do anything. The people who if I like when I work 9 to 5, right? I'll be up at 5 a.m. I'll get like 3 hours of working. Then I'll get ready and go to work. Then I'll come home and I get 3 more hours of working. And it still feels like I've not done enough. Whereas there's people who will get home from work, they put 1 hour work in. And yes, some people, they still make it that way. But for what I'm trying to achieve, which is like, I want to build like a massive empire. I don't want to just be some like little, I'm making an extra grand a month. And I want more than that. And I know to build to that point, I have to put hours and hours and hours of my life in and I have to sacrifice. But it's like, what if this sacrifice doesn't pay off? What if I sacrifice my life and I get 20 years, 30 years down the line and I'm still in the same position as I am now? You know? What if this business thing never takes off? And that's the thing you've got to battle with. I'm running it back to the point I made at the start. There's so much uncertainty that you have to fight with because, like I said, there's no guarantee that it's going to pay off, right? I could be in the same position I am now in 20 years. Like, yeah, I'll have more knowledge, I'll have more experience, I'll know what I'm doing more, but there's still no guarantee that it'll pay off. Like, I could make the best video today and I post it and you get no views. Even though it's the best videos that ever exist, you could still get no views. Because that's the whole thing with it, all right? It's just pure uncertainty. So that's everything I want to say for this video. If you're thinking about entrepreneurship and going down this route, you have to really think, like you have to think on it. Because it's one of the things, when you start it, you can't give up. Like, you'll want to. But if you're the right person for it, if it's something you're really passionate about like me, there's been days, bro, I just want to quit. And I'm completely miserable. I feel like crying. I feel like just giving up, just throwing my phone at a wall, throwing my head at a wall. Just, it's just that sort of feeling where it's like, this is my life. It's not working at all. Nothing's working. But I can't give up because it's like everything that I've put into this, everything I've sacrificed, it has to work. There's no other way. And you got to be prepared to live like that. Where there's days where you just feel so depressed, so angry with the world, so angry with yourself. And you feel so not good enough because nothing's working, but just have to suck it up and carry on, If you want to be an entrepreneur, that's the reality of it. You see the other side on the internet where, I make millions a month and I can fly around the world, drive supercars and flex my money on a TikTok. But that's not the reality of it. That's what they sell you so they can make more money. They show you that version of entrepreneurship so they can sell you a course on how you make money so that you think it's easy. So when you try it yourself, it doesn't matter how easy it is for you because they've already made the money from selling you a course that gives you an unrealistic expectation of success. But that's the reality of it in this video. I'm not trying to gatekeep anything. I'm not trying to sell you a get-rich-quick scheme like most of the internet. But yeah, I think this video is very important because I'm not trying to scare you away. I think that entrepreneurship is one of the best things I've ever done, even though I've lost a lot from it. Even though I wouldn't say I've lost. I say I'd had to give up a lot of things. But that's kind of what you have to do. Because this could pay off in like 3 years and I could live the best. Like I could be living the most amazing life, and I look back on these years and think, there's things that I had to sacrifice, but I'm very glad I did. Like, there's things that like matter to me that I've had to sacrifice, and the things that don't matter to me, like stuff like I had to give up playing games all the time, which I'd play for like 6 to 10 hours a day sometimes, which is bad. And now I play like 1 hour a week or something. But it's stuff you have to do, bro. You know? Yeah, I'm gonna end this video here because I've waffled for like a while now. But I hope this video is helpful enough. Because nobody really talks about the real side of entrepreneurship. You know, the late nights, the sleepless nights, the constant stress of, is this even going to work? Have I just given up my entire safe future? You know, because you have to sacrifice the safety net to go all in to actually make it work. You know, you got to risk being unhappy most days. And, you know, like when you're getting no results, you're spending hours of your day putting work in and you get nothing for it. I get clowned for this every day. People just taking the mic. And you have to just put up with that, because what other choice do you have? If you want to make this work, people are going to judge you when you get no results. And you have no defense, because it's true. You know, I'm just some muppet making videos for no one to see. And I can't defend that when they judge me for it, because no one's seeing them anyway. You know? So, that's everything for this video. If you got this far, please join my free community for entrepreneurs like ourselves, right? Because I think if you have people around you to pick you up on this journey and like push you to better yourself, push you to keep going, it's a lot less hard. It's still really hard, right? It's still friggin', you always question yourself, but you've got people to reassure you and people to guide you in a way. And that's what I want to build with my free community, because that would have saved me so much pain, like mentally, that are just unnecessary. If I just had people to like sort of vent to in a way and like discuss my problems with and be like, well, what do I do here? I'm stuck with this. Can you all give me advice? You know? And that's what I want to create with this community. So if that resonates with you, it's free to join. You can join it through the link in the description. But yeah, that's everything for this video. Thank you for watching. I really hope the message hit and you found this like video actually good. And I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe. Goodbye.